All right, y'all. So I'm gonna do this video about short-term and long-term disability. I did a video earlier, but looks like what happened was it got deleted. So I'm gonna start over. So anyway, this video is about short-term and long-term disability. What I'm trying to convey is to not quit your jobs, right? Especially if you are overworked or you just feel discouraged, you're feeling depressed, you're having anxiety. You want to not quit your job, especially if you put in some years or you really like this job. It's just mentally you're just drained, right? I'm expressing this because I've been through that before, right? Um, I was at my job. I'm being stressed. Like these property claims were just flooding in. Um, I had other things going on. It was just a lot. It was just a lot. But I did not want to quit my job because I really liked what I was doing. You know what I mean? I like helping people and I like giving people the information that I had. And I felt like I was a good adjuster because my ratings were great. It's just that mentally I was just down, right? I was just to my limit. So I decided to go ahead and do short-term disability, mind you, and long-term disability because I didn't know the process. I had never done this before. So I had a homegirl that she works in HR, but she specifically does long-term disability. So I reached out to her to get a little bit more information on the process because I want to get a heads up on what they're going to be asking, things like that. Because what I didn't understand was just because you apply for short-term, long-term disability doesn't mean that it's going to get approved, right? So I was asking her different questions, things like that. So basically, I end up I had my therapist anyway. So the therapist that I had, I was just telling her, like, look, I done reached my limit at work. Like, I have anxiety, depression sometimes. They overworking me. I don't get the proper breaks that I'm supposed to. I'm not taking lunch breaks. I'm staying longer than what I am, even though I'm salaried. I don't supposed to be staying this long. Like I'm doing 14 hours a day, 5 days, 6 days. They making us do overtime if we have catastrophes. Like this is just getting way too much and too stressful. I'm not even able to work out physically. It's affecting my health because I'm sitting down all day. Like I'm not being able to circulate my blood, stuff like that. I can't sleep at night. I was just whatever. Okay. So anyway, therapist writes all this down. The first week, well, first I told my manager that I just wasn't, like I need some time off. So I go in, you always want to tell your manager you need some time off. Kind of give him a heads up or she. So anyway, told them that. Then I called HR. HR told me that I could do short-term disability or I can apply for it. But they give you a week. You have to give them a week of determination. So basically, for a week, you're not going to go to work. It's like time off, but it's unpaid, which I was cool. I know how to, save my money and do what I need to do. So I still was straight for that week. So I didn't get paid. I was sitting at home, went to the therapist. Therapist sent the paperwork. I sent that over to HR for them to review it. Mind you, everything I told this therapist, I said nothing about my personal business. Like everything had to come from work. That's why I'm stressed. Work, work, work. Not because my husband, not because my kids, not because I can't pay my mortgage. None of that. You can't be talking about that. That's your personal. You need to be talking about the job and how it is stressing you out. What your manager is doing, you having sexual harassment, all that, like everything like that. You need to be telling the therapist. So anyway, she sent in my paperwork to the HR. HR approved it. It's like a little portal that you submit the paperwork. So once I got it submitted and I was approved, I want to say a month off, right? So within that month, my homegirl was telling me, look, you need to find you a psychiatrist. I'm like, I got one. No, a therapist is not the same thing as a psychiatrist. I ain't even know that, y'all. I was lost, right? So I got me looked up psychiatrist, bam, bam, bam. I already knew if I found the old school one, I knew they was going to know what was up. So anyway, found me one, found this psychiatrist. that was an older dude. He knew what was up. So I told him what was going on. Boom, boom, boom. We did the assessment, and then I started calling the group. You know, you gotta abide by what they got going on now. So if you gonna play the game, you gotta play it right. Well, anyway, did the assessment. Once I did the assessment, they'll come back and tell you what your diagnosis. If you have anxiety, depression, ADHD, bipolar, schizophrenia, whatever you got going on, right? Then they'll give you some medication that you need to take. Well, you need to take. But anyway, if you don't take it, whatever. Okay? So I ain't gonna tell y'all what's going on with that. This up to your discretion, right? Whatever you want to do. So they give you the medication that's prescribed. Then what that psychiatrist does is you have to go to their sessions once a week. You got to go to group and you got to take their medicine, right? That is your mental health plan, right? So they're going to send that over to your job. Now, depending on what kind of psychiatrist you got, like mine was like, hey, she need a month off. Okay, she need another month off. She need another month off. She ain't ready to go back. We gonna work on this. Woo, 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 woo. This medicine ain't working. We gotta up the dose. We gotta bring the doses down. We gotta use this one. We gotta, like, for a year, right? So anyway, did that, and when I came back to work, y'all, I kid you no lie, I felt like everything was brand new. My manager treated me different. His manager treated me different. Like, everything was just like a breath of fresh air. Because you got to understand, these big companies do not want them type of lawsuits. They do not want you to play them type games. And one thing about me is I play dumb. I look slow. I love it. I love that part. I love to play that part. Because what they do is they don't know. I got trails of emails. I got trails of paperwork. I got trails of recordings. Like, I don't play them type games. When you playing with my livelihood, I don't play them type games, right? Plus, my field, well, I went to school for paralegal, so I don't play about that legal stuff, right? So I guess what my manager was reading, he didn't read I think he did read my file. Well, his manager did, because a lot of what he didn't know was a lot of those emails and whatever, how he was not treading lightly. I had those, right? That's why I was saying I had that mental breakdown, was because of that. That's why, because of what he said and stuff, okay? So I gave that to my psychiatrist to submit over to my company. So when I came back, my managers and my manager, they was treating me like, oh no, we can't play with her. She ain't no radio. We definitely can't play with her. She may act like a dumb blonde, but that ain't what she is. So my advice to you too is keep up with all of the emails, all of the meetings, all of that. Keep up with it, because oftentimes they don't know how intelligent you are. They don't know. And that's cool. I don't care. I know me. I don't care what everybody else think. I know me, right? And what I'm capable of. But anyhow, I'm here to say, do not quit your job. Seek out those different benefits that your job may have, because you're paying the medical. You may even have free yoga. You may have where you can join Planet Fitness or LA Fitness for free, any of that. So look at your benefit packet. Make sure that you're not paying for something that you're not taking advantage of, because we work so much, we're not looking at the benefits paid. So that is my gem to y'all today. Thank you. Subscribe, like, share, comment. And if you are a medical profession and dealing with mental illness, please comment. Please tell us what the process is and things like that, different resources that we can use, because we all need help here, okay? And if you are a part of my tribe, we're here to help each other, not to be crabs in a bucket. Talk to y'all later. Love y'all. Good night.